Tell me about yourself. My name is Tu Sean. I graduated from my associate degree at Global University for the criminal justice program. I've been a security guard for 4 years now, and my spare time I like to practice MMA, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing. How do you handle a difficult problem you must solve where you are unsure of the answer? When I have a difficult problem and I'm not completely sure of the answer, I will always do some research on the answer, and then go to my supervisor with the questions and with what I think is the best answer. Once I am sure of the solution, I will put the plan into action. Tell me about a time when you went above and beyond your job. Just about 3 months ago, we had 2 officers call in sick, and then we were very short staffed, and were processing a couple of new patients that were being an issue or being physical issue. I offered to stay and was able to pull off a 20-hour shift while they found another officer for my replacement. How do you resolve a disagreement with someone? If a disagreement occurred has been made on the job, I am a believer in being the first to apologize. It's not about who is right or wrong, but about coming to an agreement, even if it is agreeing to disagree. What role do you see in the correctional officer plays in preventing contraband into the prison? I believe that my role as a correctional officer is to ensure the safety of everyone in the prison, whether that be an officer or an inmate, by keeping my ears and eyes open to any suspicious activity or conservation. I am assured that drug abuse and violence are prevented within the prison. Describe a situation in which you supervise a large group of individuals. What specific steps do you take to ensure that all individuals in your group complete scheduled activities? At the time for my Wisconsin Challenge Academy job as a night security guard, it was my job to manage 26 candidates and to ensure they were set and ready for their sergeant each day. If anyone was lagging behind or misbehaving, I would speak to them directly about my concerns. All in all, it was a very successful experience. If anyone disagrees, we'll write reports and report them. Tell me about an experience where you successfully used de-escalate techniques in preventing a physical altercation. A time where I prevent a physical altercation is when I was on security duty watching the Riverside Park, and I noticed a intoxicated college kid was standing on the bridge. When I approached the college kid told me he wanted to end his life because of his girlfriend. Before I approached him, I called 911 and didn't talk to the dispatch, just put the phone on my back pocket. I would tell him that, there's so many stars in this world, so that basically telling you that there's so many girls in the world, and why would you end your life that way? I assume that the dispatcher must have heard me when I told them that you shouldn't be jumping here at the Riverside Park. So when I attempted to consult with him, while the police showed up, therefore the police showed up on time and got the kid back on the ground and was able to diffuse the situation. What do you fear will be your potential weakness as a correctional officer inside our prison? I do not fear that my weakness would make me a poor fit as a correctional officer, but I do know what areas I would benefit from working on. Personally, I'm working on my ability to complete, to let my emotion of my day go when I arrive home. This way, I will always come back to work feeling refreshed. So being able to control my emotions. Why are you the best suit person for this job? In addition to my experience as a security guard, I also have target training for my people skills by dealing with patients or guests, meaning like other people. Writing skills by writing reports and having good judgment. Have you ever wanted in a stressful environment? How did you handle it? Sorry, the question was, have you ever worked in a stressful environment and how did you handle it? Like I said, I've been a security guard for almost over 3 or 4 years now, and I am absolutely accustomed to working in a stressful environment. Prior to becoming a security guard, I worked in the farmers market for 11 years, so basically customer service for 11 years. I manage stress by taking care of myself, my own physical and emotional needs when I am away from the hospital or my job site. I am active and social outside of work, which helps me handle the stress very well. Have you ever faced a company policy you disagree with but had to enforce it anyway? Yes, I have faced policy that I do not agree with. However, one thing I realize now that I am more mature in my career, that is, I do not have to agree in order to do it. Policies are in place for a reason, and I will always abide by them despite my feelings or understanding of them. Tell me about a time when you showed great trustworthy and responsibilities. I have always shown trustworthiness and responsibility throughout my career as a security guard. One specific time I could think of would be when I busted a patient with significant amount of drugs. In that particular, the patient had a drug deal with one of the housekeeper staff. I exercised my responsibility and reported immediately to the police officers and my supervisor. Tell me about a time when it was better to be agreeable in a situation rather than continue the argument. I found myself in an intense situation with a patient early in my career. I could have pushed it further, but I realized that I needed to fight the bigger battles. I diffused the situation verbally and physically by walking away. I am proud that I did that so because I then built up a trust in that inmate, in that patient later on. What if your command officer was taken by an inmate and he or she ordered their release? What would you do? At this point, I will notify the other staff before I did anything, and then we as a team will figure out which strategy will work best in order to gain control of the situation. If an officer next to you was engaged in a fight with the inmate or patient, what would you do? In an event like this, I will call for backup immediately, then assist the officer and then try to defuse the situation as soon as possible. Okay. Why do you want a position as a correctional officer? Like I said, I have been a security guard for over 3 or 4 years now, and I love my job. Every day is a new challenge, and I feel like I am making a difference in the lives of others and myself. And this is a career path that I always wanted to follow and accomplish. Thank you.